13-year-old Madalina Cojocari was last seen over 500 days ago in Cornelius, North Carolina. She was last seen on November 21, 2022, on school bus video footage, getting of the bus. Madalina's school sent a guidance counselor to the house on December 12 to find out why the 6th grader had not been in class, but according to the police, no one answered the door. It's only after the school went to check on her that her mother, Diana, said she last saw her daughter on November 23. Diana then went to her school, Bailey Middle School, on December 15 and reported Madalina missing. The police previously said the girls' school reached out to Diana several times between November 23 and December 15, when she first reported the girl missing. In an affidavit, Diana told the police that she and her husband, Christopher Palmiter, argued on the night of November 23, the night when Madalina was last seen by her mother, and that Christopher drove to his family's house in Michigan the next morning. Diana looked in Madalina's room at around 11:30 a.m. the next day, but she was gone. Some clothes and a backpack were also gone. Diana's plan was to wait till her husband returned on November 26 to ask if he knew where Madalina was. When Christopher returned from the trip, Christopher did not ask Diana where Madalina was, but Christopher told the police he did ask Diana several times where her daughter was. Both stated that they did not know where she was, but they did not contact the police to report Madalina missing. Detectives asked Diana why she waited to report Madalina missing, and she stated that she was worried it might start a conflict between her and Christopher. Diana and Christopher were arrested on December 17, and both were charged with failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement. 2 days later, on December 19, police searched Lake Norman, near where Madalina lived. Later that month, on December 30, police executed a search warrant on the home where Madalina lived with her mother and stepfather. In the home, there was an area blocked off with plywood in the kitchen. Detective Nicholas asked about the blocked-off area, and Christopher stated that they had planned to make a separate apartment. The search warrants said Christopher told investigators that he had not seen the girl for a week before he left to drive to Michigan. The police also seized 3 cell phones and asked for a warrant for location data, call records, text messages and other information off the phones. Search warrants released last year say Diana asked someone described as a distant relative for help to get her and her daughter away from Christopher. The police talked to that relative and said, he stated that Diana and her mother asked him if he would assist Diana with smuggling her and Madalina away from the residence. A search of Diana's car last February found passports for the mother and daughter, along with work and education documents, according to the warrant. The relative stated that Diana told him that she was in a bad relationship with Christopher and wanted a divorce. On December 2, Diana had a long phone call with this relative. In reviewing Diana's phone records, there was multiple calls to phone numbers belonging to unidentified targets involved in ongoing T3 narcotic trafficking investigations. Diana was convicted of failure to report the disappearance, after changing her plea to guilty without a plea agreement. She was sentenced to a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 17 months in prison. Christopher was released from jail after posting a $25,000 bond on August 18, 2023. Diana was at the time still being held in a Mecklenburg County detention center, where she has been since December 17, 2022. Diana was supposed to appear in court in February 2024 for her arraignment but refused to appear. The hearing was given a continuance. Court records show that she currently has a hearing scheduled in August 2024, and another in December 2024. In May 2024, Christopher was found guilty on the charges of failing to report the disappearance of a child. He was sentenced to 30 months of supervised probation. By then, Diana, who had already pleaded guilty for failing to report her daughter missing, had been released, having served 510 days behind bars, completing her sentence of 6 to 17 months in prison. Diana would likely be deported back to her home country of Moldova eventually, since she was in the U.S. on a green card. Christopher claimed through his lawyer at trial that Diana had manipulated him into false belief that his stepdaughter was safe. Phone and email records presented at his trial suggested that he was aware of Madalina's disappearance. During his trial, Christopher also stated that Madalina would likely not be found. He said, "I think Diana took her somewhere with her Moldovan family. I believe Diana has tucked her away somewhere where she's not going to be found." A month later, in June, Diana was named a suspect in Madalina's disappearance. Police did not say what led to the mother being named a suspect. There is no indication that either parent has cooperated with police in the search. Police revealed that Madalina's mother and grandmother discussed a theory that Christopher gave the girl away for money during a recorded jail phone call. They also discussed a bag with money and withdrawing cash. Investigators then asked for access to bank records, the warrant shows, which they believed would allow investigators to establish a financial pattern for Christopher and may contain information pertaining to the disappearance of Madalina. During another recorded jail phone call between Christopher and his brother and sister-in-law, he mentioned the girl's mother had a lot of cash with her and he did not know where it came from. He also told his family there was financial stuff coming up and his brother told him not to worry about it. Shortly after Madalina was first reported missing, police said her mother and stepfather clearly knew more than they were telling investigators. Captain Jennifer Thompson said in a video at the time, "This is a serious case of a child whose parents are clearly not telling us everything they know." She also said, "One of the challenges in this case, simply put, we were not notified she was gone, a delay of 3 weeks. That November day, the 4-foot 10-inch girl who weighed 90 pounds and loved horses, got off her school bus in the small suburban town of Cornelius, wearing a white t-shirt, jeans, jacket and pink, purple and white Adidas shoes." In the days after she was reported missing, hundreds of investigators, including the FBI, had taken on the case, pursuing nearly 250 leads and interviewing people across state lines and outside of the United States. But they couldn't find Madalina.